Okay, let's begin, guys. Is it not hot in this room? Because I think it's... You can close some of the windows. I think that will be helpful, guys. Yeah, because it is warm. Don't over too much, maybe like 6 inches. Okay, so we have already done testing, GAD, Is Professor Prashant back now from India?
Yes, sir. He's back.
Did he spoke to you?
Message, sir.
I need to talk. He's a decent fellow, I like him. Hmm? He's pretty alright, I like him.
He's good.
6-7 years I know him. So he's a good guy. Pretty straightforward. In most cases he's like me. Something wrong he will tell that also, which is fine. Sometimes he get emotional also. Last 2 years he was emotional with me because I didn't took anybody from IUP, which he doesn't like. So he was emotional. So he will not say direct, but he's commenting on me. You should, I said okay. So before we start, do you guys have any questions for me? My goal with you guys is not to become a SAP consultant or be a consultant and all that. My goal with you guys is also to become a very good professional. That is also what I want. A truly successful, dynamic professional. I want that. At least I want to try being there. For me, if you see in the personal basis, it doesn't make a difference you do it or not, you waste your time or not. What did make a difference to me? But I want you to transform that a little bit. Most people do though. I don't succeed with everyone, but with most I do. And that is what I will be keep doing with you guys as well. So I have a multiple roles in me. Najla madam, high five. Namrata madam, high five. Drigja madam, high five. हाई फाइव तो ऐसा होता है हाई फाइव ओके योर हाई फाइव वाज लाइक दिस तस्नीम गुड हाई फाइव मैडम भार्गवी मैडम okay so we're going to talk about agile and scrum methodology a little bit quickly. So what is agile? What agile methodology stand for? What are the different methodologies? Some of them we spoke about, we talked about. Waterfall methodologies and others. So talking about classical method of software development have several disadvantages. For example, they have a considerable effort during planning phase, and overall effectiveness is not there. So overall effectiveness is not there. Now we're going to talk about some agile software development methodologies. Agile. Let us understand them. So what is the overall idea of agile? The keyword here is agile. Speed. Quick. Faster. So agile proponents are very happy, weight and cumbersome. One more thing which I would like to tell you guys though. I have used this example 1 million times. I might have used it to you guys also. I will use one more time. Probably Nazla and Tasneem, you will not understand this example. I always give that example of Sachin Tendulkar and Vinod Kambli. Always. For me, it's like a case study. Some people say Vinod Kambli was have more skills in terms of being left-hander and all that. But he didn't have a temperament. He didn't have a professional ethics. He didn't have that focus. And he's nowhere. He's gone. He's a joke. And the second guy who come with him, Tendulkar, he ended up being God of cricket. Two people came together. Same school, same college, same teachers. Probably both, if not Vinod Kambli having more skills, but at least he has equal skills. The second person, he remained deadly focused. Practice, focus. Never get involved into anything. Everybody loved him. He was focused to the extent who could even tell captaincy to the, I don't want to be captain also. Give it to somebody. You could have been any time. But he selected not to because he understood that's not something I want to do. I want to play cricket. Because that was his passion. And he ended up being what he ended up being. So sometimes we might be intelligent, we may be very sharp, we may be God gifted, but that God gift cannot take you far away. God gift is helpful, having intelligence is helpful, having a potential is important, you can realize that much, but it is the realization of your potential. It is your work ethics, it's your focus, it's your dedication, it's your drive. That is the most important. What is Agile? So Agile involved approach in which we are developing a solution in a quick time around, faster, quicker. It's not that it is not that classical waterfall process which we discussed. So by using Agile method, we can develop software in fastest possible pace. Agile methods are lightweight and people-based rather than plan-based. People-based rather than plan-based. But the core keyword here is lightweight. The keyword here is lightweight. They are not heavy duty. Quick, fast. People based rather than plan based. So it is the maneuvering of the people rather than having elaborative plans. A lot of these agile methodologies are also used not only in IT project implementations. A lot of these agile methodologies are used in the warfare. In warfare, fight, war. There are two very examples of agile method which were very successful. One was Mongols. You heard about Mongol? Genghis Khan. In 13th century, he acquired largest empire world has ever seen at that phase, and probably keeping only him, no one else, even British, could create an empire of that size. From the Mongolia, he went all the way to Moscow, and he went all the way to Baghdad, he went all the way to the China, and whole almost entire world known he acquired in his lifetime. His operations was very agile. They invented to use the arrow and bow on horseback. Nobody could do that before. So they run on the horse and they use arrow. And that is reverse arrow they use. Before that, people use sword with that, or arrow people are there in manual in the back. And they could reach miles in 8 hours. Before people can strategize, they will just quickly go on horseback and kill everyone. because they were so fast. They are very good horsemen and they are very agile. No planning, they would just go quickly. And they were not huge armies. They were like millions of people. The army of 20, army of 30. And they will quickly attack. And they will completely destroy. Very agile. Second people who are so effective was Marathas under Shivaji. He didn't have a big army. But he defeated almost all the wars. And then a lot of Peshwas who came after him. So Marathas were very successful. And they were effective because the terrain is like that. Because Maharashtra terrain is not plain, it is rocky. So a huge army cannot do anything. They will come in a small group, attack, and very effective. That is Agile method. Small people, lightweight, quick, fast. Okay. Agile methods. There is not a single method. There is a combination of that we will talk about. Talking about Agile Manifesto, I would like, what does a lightweight mean, sir? Light means not using too many people. I would like you guys to make a note of some of these terms. Make a note of these terms, please. And this you get. Individual and interactions, working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, responding to the change over following a plan. So Agile methods focus on more individual interactions rather than having over complex processes and using this tool versus that tool and making a complete huge complex implementation process. Working software over comprehensive document, that basically means documentation is very light. Rather than we focus and spend time on documentation, we develop the software and we discuss what it makes sense. Then we do again, then we do it again, then we do it again. Then customer collaboration over contract negotiation. So here we are working more in collaborative with the business and with IT, rather than you signing this agreement and this is your obligation, this is your obligation, and doing over documentation. In the airlift there is a guy who Did you sign that document with Saddam? That was the funniest movie. In that, so the best thing I like of the airlift was, apart from being very emotional drama, there is a very light moments. Certain couple of characters. So he go and meet Saddam Hussein for that. So he asked, "Did you got a signature paper from Saddam Hussein?" He's looking at this crazy. So there is no documentation that's signed. How can you do that? You don't get in the paper written document from Saddam. Okay, so Agile Manifesto. In Agile Methods, I would like you guys to make a note of this term called Scrum, Extreme Programming, Adaptive Software Development, Dynamic System Development Methods. We're going to talk about Scrum, Extreme Programming, Adaptive Software Development, Dynamic System Development Methods. There is also a website www.agilealliance.org. www.agilealliance.org. A non-profit organization promote. Do you guys know which game is this? Rugby. Kabaddi is very similar to rugby in a way. Do you guys play kabaddi? Anybody has played kabaddi? Most wonderful game. When I was in India, I saw there is a kabaddi league. I saw that wrestling league. That's wonderful, like that. So they have all these wrestlers playing into it. I saw different team from different cities and all that. It's very good. Now this is a Scrum. See this picture? That is the Scrum. Where a lot of people are working together, head to head. See that? And also in mud. So if somebody has to understand Scrum, this picture explains what the Scrum is. Okay. This is the Scrum. Make a note of this statement also. This is an interesting statement. Another one is repeatedly inspect actual working software every 2 weeks to 1 month. This is another important statement. So make a note of that also. Repetitively inspect actual working software every 2 weeks to 1 month. In this statement, there is one very important word which I like: self-manage. Self-manage. Our team to determine the best way to deliver the highest priority features. Self-manage. So it's not heavily duty program management. It's not heavy duty project management. They're not like too many project managers and heavy duty structure to the project manager. It's more of a self-managed. So that word is very key, self-managed. A little bit of a history and all that, you guys can read that. Okay. Characteristic. In couple of things I like. One, that self-managed and self-organizing team. So that's a interesting. And another word which is important is sprint. Another important word here is product backlog. No specific engineering practices prescribed. Self-organizing team. So it's not heavy duty on the project organization part. And then another thing is we are working in a series of sprint. Series of sprint basically means if I have a heavy duty software to develop, then we can do this now in this month, then we do this now next month, then we do next month, then we do next month. So it's a sprints. We divide the whole requirement into small chunks. We develop this software now in January, this is in February, this we do in March. So the whole, and that what we're going to do is called product catalog, product backlog. Product backlog is a business requirement. And say, okay, these requirement we do in Jan, this we do it in Feb, this we do it in this. So it's a continuous process, which works in sprint, in sprints. How Scrum works. This is how Scrum works. So you have a this slide actually explains the whole process in which, so you have this product catalog, product backlog, which is a business requirement. Then you have a sprint backlog, and then see here 2 to 4 week cycle, and it's a continuous cycle. In that the output is potentially shippable product increment. Shippable product इंक्रीमेंट. नंबर आपके सर में क्या निकल आया वो? ओ क्लिप. आई थॉट वो एंटेना है कुछ ऐसा. सबसे ज्यादा देखो कौन हंस रहा है, इसको बाद में जाके समझ लेना है. आजकल एंटीना आते हैं, थोड़ा सा रिसेप्शन अच्छा हो जाए. दिलीप सर का आवाज आ नहीं रहा ना वहां तक, मेरा वॉइस कम है. So it's a voice modulation reaches. High five. Right? Panindra? Bhai sahab, where were you yesterday? Where we went? New York. What's going on in New York? At least inform. Okay. So product backlog. In the product backlog is all business requirement. We took one requirement, we do the whole development, we put in the product, that product goes off. Then we take another requirement, we do the develop, put into the product goes off. So like I already have, for example, taken SAP, it probably fit into SAP. So SAP is already there in the product. Now in this product there is a continuous enhancements. So every year when SAP come with a new version and all, there is also a bunch of products. So in January we put this in, ship it out. February we put those features, ship it out. So every month, every quarter there is additional features to it. So that is how Scrum works. Now one other term here is sprint. So sprint is a series of time in which you are doing certain aspect, which could be 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week sprint. So we are taking 2 weeks and 4 week sprint. In this 2 week and 4 week, this is what we are trying to achieve. Okay. That is the sprint. I would like you guys to make a note of this statement as well. So product is designed, coded and tested during a sprint. So in 1 month time frame, you are also do designing. This is my requirement. I design it, I code it, I test it, put into the go. Then I go to next sprint. This is my requirement, this is my design, this is my code, this is my sprint. That is why it's called sprints. This is the Now remember we talked about analysis, requirement, design, coding, testing. That software development lifecycle doesn't change though. In software development lifecycle again remain the same. There is some requirement. We do designing for that, we do coding and programming for that, and we do testing, and we go there. Their software development lifecycle remain constant. So here we have a requirement. This I have a design, I have a code, and I have a testing. That doesn't change. No change during a sprint. So there is input, and that is sprint, and out of the sprint is tested code. I will like you guys to make a note of that block diagram. Input is of some business requirement. He says these are my explicit business requirement. I take those requirement, and those requirement become my input. I'm developing a solution for that. I'm doing a coding. I'm doing testing, and output of that is a tested code, which is approved. You don't incorporate change. If there is any change to it, that goes to next sprint. In this sprint, this is what we do. In a sprint, this is what we do. That's it. It's closed. Okay. Scrum Framework. So, of course, there is something called roles. So, in the role, there are different roles. There is something called ceremonies, and there is something called artifacts. So make a note of these three terms: roles, ceremonies, artifacts. Roles basically means who all are involved in that yes, I'm in the class group. Can you call me now? What is the problem with your ID? What problem comes? Okay. Yeah, try connect. Right. Try connect from some public on the internet, maybe like Starbucks and all that, and see if it works. Yeah? Okay. Yeah. Scrum Framework. One of the product owner, there is a Scrum Master, there is a team. 3 roles. We'll talk about what is Scrum Master means. We have a ceremonies. In the ceremony, we have a sprint planning, a sprint review, a sprint retrospective, daily Scrum meeting. Then we have a certain artifacts. In the artifacts, we have a product catalog, product backlog, a sprint backlog, and burn down chart. Let's understand some of these terms. Product owner. Now, who is the product owner? Product owner, the one who defines the features. So, the one who is telling business requirement. So, product owner is the one who is giving me business requirement. Make a note of that. So, he's responsible for the product, and he also prioritizes the business features and all that, and according to market value. Well, you know, like in case of SAP software. So they keep getting a lot of inputs. I want this, I want to have this, I want. So then they say, okay, out of that, you see the decide on profitability in ROI. So like in SAP, they get a lot of input from the business. Okay, this is working fine, this is not working, we want this. But in all those, they see that, okay, which feature is more profitable. You know, if they put it, will help them grow, will help them succeed, will help them sell more and better. That is basically example of taking a lot of product features. SAP folks do that because SAP they keep getting tons of business requirement and enhancement and modification expectations. You cannot achieve all of them. So you prioritize, and it's done by the. They have in SAP world they call it product managers. So product manager, a product. There is a whole product team. They are responsible for that. They take feedback from the clients, like R3, ECC, all the gazillions of product. There is a product manager for all of them. They are not programmers. They are not coders. They are product managers. Then we have a Scrum Master. Scrum Master is the person who is doing the management to the project. He is more like a project manager. He is more like a project manager. He is the one who is actually carrying out the Scrum cycle. He is the one who is driving the whole Scrum process. That is done by the Scrum Master. So managing the whole cycle. Okay. That is a Scrum Master. Scrum Team. So Scrum Master is managing a Scrum team. It's a small team. You see that 5 to 10 people. It's not a large team. It's not 200 people. 5 to 10 chunks. And that include programmers. QA means tester. UI basically means user interface designers. And most of these people are self-organizing. Scrum team. The bottom line is a small, self-sufficient, self-organized team which is working for a specific deliverable. That is a Scrum team. Ceremonies. Ceremonies are various events. So for example, planning meeting. Sprint basically means when 1 month, 2 months, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, when we are going through the sprint. That is the sprint. Daily meeting. Daily Scrum basically means it's like a daily meeting, daily planning meeting. Review basically means checking the status. On a periodic basis, we are checking the status. You guys with me or without me? So here, look at this picture, guys. Sprint planning meeting. So look at the input. The input is a product backlog, means all features, what all teams can do, what are the business expectations, what is more important, what are the technology and tools available to us, what is the status for the product catalog. Okay. That is input. Then we doing the sprint, and the output is a meeting the sprint goal and sprint backlog. Sprint back goal means I have coding to done for this particular requirement, and we achieve that, and that product has been incremented to the existing software. That is a sprint goal being achieved. Sprint backlog basically means the feature we have adopted. That is the backlog. So there is a product backlog, means business requirement. Sprint backlog means all feature which we keep adding. Sprint planning meeting. First part and the second part. The first part is to create product catalog. Creating product catalog, product backlog basically means what all we want in the product. That is the product backlog. Sprint goal, how long it will take and how many weeks it will require, and it is done between these people: product owner, Scrum Master and Scrum Team. Second part, we have a Scrum Master, Scrum Team, and then we also have here creating a sprint backlog, which basically means backlog of the functionalities which we have developed. So product backlog, sprint backlog, which is done by these people. Pre-project and kickoff meeting. Kickoff. Now, what is the purpose of kickoff? Kickoff basically define the begin of the project. So when project is begin, that is called kickoff meeting. So with the kickoff, we begin the project. In fact, in SAP world also, this word kickoff is being used. Project kickoff happens in SAP also. Blueprint kickoff happen in SAP also. Realization kickoff happens in SAP also. So this kickoff what basically means beginning of that project or beginning of that phase of the project. And normally there is a formal kickoff meeting, formal, in which you have a bunch of people being invited to the meeting. That meeting is conducted by the project manager. That project manager talks to everyone and tells them, okay, this is what goal, this is what we are trying to do, this is how we are trying to do, this is the role, this is the responsibility, who is doing what. Normally it's a 2 hour to 3 hour, 4 hour meeting, kickoff. I was there in Bangladesh, we did a business blueprint kickoff. We spoke around 3 hours. This is how we're going to do blueprinting, this is what is method, this is how we're going to do. Because if you're doing a project, if you have business people who have never been involved into SAP, they would not know what they will be doing. So you explain all of them. So kickoff. Then we have a sprint. A sprint is a 1 month long iteration. I would like you guys to make a note of this term. 1 month long iteration. Now, this 1 month is not fixed. It could be 2 weeks also. It could be 6 weeks also. It could be 1 quarter also. But it has a defined time for us. No outside influence can interfere with the Scrum team. That basically means once we set up the goal, we set up the goal. We are experiencing difficulty with the audio conference. You will be temporarily be unable to use meeting control. Audio connection restored. Okay. This is my sense. Each sprint begin with a daily Scrum meeting. Each sprint begin with daily Scrum meeting. Daily Scrum meeting. So every day there is a meeting, we define objective. This is what we will do on today. Okay. Daily Scrum meeting. This is what you do in daily Scrum. It is having daily, is maybe for 15 minutes. You stand up, no problem solving. What you did yesterday, what you want to do today, what obstacle you are facing. That's it. 15-minute meeting. You are not 2 hours spending on this meeting. What do you want to do yesterday, what do you want to do today, what is the problem? 3 questions. Chicken and pigs are invited. Chicken and pigs are invited. Help avoid other unnecessary meeting. Only pigs can talk. Only What? Huh? Chicken is not tasty? How many of you eat chicken? Looks like everyone. Who don't eat? Oh, you are the only one who don't eat. What's wrong with you? You don't eat? 2 people. Okay. Diggs also you didn't eat? What's wrong with you 3? See, poor chicken will do what? If somebody don't eat them, they're not going to do anything. Eh?
Sir, I'm sure you're a vegetarian.
How do you say that?
I'm sure you tell me you're a vegetarian.
No, on what basis you make that?
You don't eat chicken, mutton, anything.
On what basis you are passing that judgment?
He eats everything.
Tell me, why? Did I told you or did you guess? And what lead you to the guess? Intuition. Okay. I grew up in a family where they don't even eat onion, even garlic. To that extent, complete Jenny. Forget about chicken, forget about meat. Meat, even onion, we cannot bring. Even my grandfather Sadh basically means who will even wear the white clothes.
My grandparents, even my dad, he doesn't
Yes.
eat
But I am all destroyed though, madam. So, I can eat chicken, egg. I'm not supposed to eat beef, being a Hindu. I tried that also a couple of times because I'm not that religious type, right? So, I said, let me try it. I didn't eat too much because it was too rubbery for me, so I didn't do anything. Huh? It was like rubber.
Depends on how you
Depends on how it is cooked. Depends on how it is cooked.
Exactly.
And what part of the cow you make.
I don't know. It was one of the best restaurants in Boston when I was there, and they were eating. It was really very high fancy restaurant, and they call it very good. Blah blah blah. I said, okay, let me try. And I took few bites, but it was like a too rubbery for me. I like red lobsters, so I developed to eat some seafood also. Red lobster and all that. I like seafood. I didn't develop that much taste for fish. No, but I don't still eat in home. I can still eat, so I'm like that only. I do not restrict myself to certain things. If I feel like jumping for 5th floor, I will do.
You'll be in hospital.
Eh?
You'll be in hospital.
That's a
That's
second
a
thought.
different thing.
But I feel like, so let's fall. I don't tell my mom. She will not gonna like it. Chicken and pigs are invited. That basically means you invite everyone. You invite people who are senior people. You also invite junior people. You also invite. So it's not okay. This meeting is only for project manager. This meeting is only for programmer. This meeting is only for this. Chicken pigs are invited means you invite everyone. And anyway, because in Scrum, teams are not very large anyway. It's only 5 to 10 people. So because they are only 5 to 10 people, so you invite everyone. You have QAs invited, coders invited, product owners invited. You invite everyone. Okay. And why you invite everyone? Because that will help you have other unnecessary meeting. So you not okay, programmer doing one meeting, then project manager doing another one, product owners are doing another one. You just do one meeting. So only pigs can talk. So that basically means it's not like become a, everybody participate, but it's pigs basically means managers. That is a pigs. Dealing with Scrum. daily Scrum is not a problem solving session. Make a note of that. You're not solving problem. It's a meeting in which basically you're coming together. This is more like a huddle. Nowadays when you start a cricket match in the morning, you do a huddle, right? This is huddle. This is what we're going to do today. We're going to ball bat. It's a team hugging. Team coming together. If you have a problem, you talk offline, you discuss. It's a good way for the Scrum Master to track the progresses. So Scrum Master can ask people, what is your problem, what you're resolving, what is the issue, where you're stuck, what is holding you, what help you need. So Scrum Master can work with the people and help them. Okay. That is the daily Scrum. Scrum is FAQ. Why daily? Because you start at the end of the day. Every day is important. For some people it is not. Let me tell you, in your life, every day only happen once. If that is gone, it's gone forever. Only thing which you can never re-achieve is the day which has passed. Everything else you can see. You can achieve your health. If you lose it, you can lose your money if you can got it. If you didn't pass into engineering, you can retry and pass. If you didn't do MBA, you can pass. But the day which is gone, you will never get, ever. And your time in this world is limited. One more thing which is very true, there will be a day, whether it's a 20 year, 30 year, 40 year, 50 year, 60 year, 70 year, whatever that year, we will not be here. So that time is also finite, and every day is getting reduced. It will never be increased. One day is gone, one day is gone. So the meaning of that is you have to live every day to the fullest. There is a 15-minute video of Steve Jobs on YouTube. If you have not watched, he given a speech in Stanford University. Have you watched it? How many of you? You did. A couple of them you watched. If you have not watched, watch it. It's a 15-minute speech. 3 stories of my life. Not now in this class, but after that. So that's why daily meeting is important, because every day is important. Sprint review meeting. So review basically means, make a note of that statement, that taking a demo of a new feature, underlying architecture. It's more like a demo. It's like a little bit of a 2-hour prep. In that you can also have a customer, you can have a managers, you can have engineers. It's a basically review of the product, more like a testing, making sure that whatever you developed before we put into a final product is approved. It's a review of the work. It's a review of the product. It's a review of the code. It's a review of the functionality. It's a review that functionally which we are doing is working fine or not working fine. So that's a review meeting. Talking about sprint retrospective meeting, that's mostly like a feedback. Normally it is very common, even in SAP implementation there is a feedback sessions. We did this business blueprinting, what it is. Sometimes this feedback happen in a formal way. We did these workshops. Remember we were talking about the workshops in the last classes. For these workshops, we give them a feedback session. How this workshop go? Did you feel your time was well spent, or you think it was wasted? People can give very candid opinion. I was there for 2 days. I don't know what this consultant NS was talking about. He wasted my time. This can come. I have this consultant, Kiran Kumar. He was not making any sense to me at all. Or he was good. We will do that. Take feedback. We did workshops, and a workshop was done by person ABC, and workshop done by Drigja Kumari. I don't know what was going on. They will give you feedback. This happens. And people can comment with the specific names. So it does happen in not only in the Scrum and all that, this feedback and all that happens other way around. Okay. So that is the retrospective. It's a daily feedback, what's going on, how it is good. Start, stop, continue. 3 questions. Should we continue? Does it making sense? Are we in the wrong path? If it is, then don't do it. Stop it. No, it's fine. Continue it. Now, product backlog. What is the product backlog? Product backlog is nothing but list of the work which you want to do. It's a business requirement. If you want to make a note, you can make a note of the system. Desired work on the project. What is all we are trying to achieve? Usually combination of story based, task based. Story based basically means what we are trying to do. Task based basically means what are the different features you want to add. You can prioritize what you want to do in what sequence. Many times you have a huge amount of backlog, product backlog, which means you have many features you want to add, but you cannot add all these features together. So you prioritize them. Typically based upon product manager feedback. Let's do this first because there is more market for this. We will not do this, we will do that later on. Or we will not never do it because there is no market. Is a functionality which people require, we might add. Doesn't make a sense now, we will do after 2 years. This is urgent. There is a good market for this product. So, and how do you maintain this? Typically a spreadsheet. So when you talk about this product backlog, there is not like any kind of fancy magical way to capture them. It's just a spreadsheet, Excel sheet. I will show you some of this Excel sheet where you can actually capture those business requirements. So it's not any fancy document. It's just a spreadsheet. You can manually create. You can have a prioritization checkbox and other functions. This is just an example of sample product backlog. And if you see here, there is a 1, 2, 3. What are the different items? Estimated time. Who's gonna do it? It is gonna take 16 hours. It's going to be done by TG Thomas Grewal. Done by MC Michael. Yeah? What? Michael Clark. Retire हो गया वो. Is he playing still? Yeah? No? Retired? Okay, that nagging back problem. There is no cricket lover in this class? One? You? You follow cricket?
No, but he was saying other day that he watches.
How about
He
you?
wakes up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
You should start watching too, Tasneem.
Okay.
She's try staying awake.
Yeah. Who else watch apart from you, Phanendra? And you watch it? Sometime. No, I need hardcore fans.
World Cup.
Your
World Cup
fan-
is going to start next month.
T20 World Cup is.
T20 World Cup.
Yeah, that's gonna come. In Bangladesh is going on, right? Yeah.
I will definitely see Indian.
India, yeah.
Funny is hardcore cricket lover.
I do. I watch almost most of it. Junior 19 going on, World Cup going on, right?
One women's.
One women going on.
Under 18.
Under 18 World Cup going on in Bangladesh. They're playing good. They already gone to quarterfinal. You have this guy, Sarfraz Khan. He's very good, yeah? In the middle order. Number 4 he's playing. I saw his batting the other day.
They tell Junior Sachin.
I don't know what Junior Sachin, but he's good. He's pretty good. He come from IPL too. Sarfraz. He's
Bangalore team.
Yeah, he's playing for Bangalore or Hyderabad, I think. Good. Okay. The sample product catalog. So this is the product catalog. What feature we want to add. From sprint goal to product catalog. Sprint catalog. Sprint backlog.
I'll just take it for lunch. 15 minutes.
Okay. You're going to bring something for me?
What do you want?
I'm a Brahmin. Anything coming for free is acceptable.
Everything you want, Len.
No, I have a... No.
Sir, Tamim is waiting.
Who?
Tamim.
Why is waiting?
Yeah, he's here.
Oh, okay. He should be here in this class.
Should I send him?
No, I will talk to him.
Okay.
Our Tamim, right?
Yeah.
So Scrum team, you anybody touch with him? Tamim? You are in touch, Phanindra? Okay. So Scrum, sprint goal to sprint backlog. So basically what is a sprint backlog? Like product functionality which we keep adding. We talked about that. Sprint backlog during changes. Team add a new task when they need to be in order to meet a sprint goal. So we have a sprint goal. This is what we're gonna do. If we cannot meet the goal, then we add or delete something. But we remain fixed as much as possible. Estimates are updated, means with that I need 2 more additional hours. I need 1 less hour or something. Sprint backlog. I would like you guys to make a note of the first bullet point. Sprint backlog is a subset of product backlog item which define the work for a sprint. Subset. So these are the features which I want in this particular particular backlog. Subset of the product catalog item which define the work for a sprint. Subset. Let us understand that. So I might have a whole list of the product item. Sprint backlog is a subset of that. So out of those 100, these 15 I'm going to do in this sprint. Do you understand? So I have over 100 requirement. Out of those 100, I'm going to take these 10 for January, these 15 for February, these 12 for March. So these 10 in January become a sprint backlog. So these are specific features which I'm adding to the software in this sprint. Make sense? That is a sprint. No more than 300 tasks in the list. It's a small chunk. This is sprint backlog. In the sprint backlog, we have a lesser number of activities, lesser number of tasks. Sprint burn down chart. Make a note of that first bullet point. Depict the total sprint backlog hours remaining per day. Burn down chart. Burn down. So I say that okay, how much it will gonna take? So we have a 1 month, 30 days, 30 into 8, 3 people. So we have a total of 400 hours. How much we burn out of this 400 hours? So that is the burnout chart. This is burnout chart. So we started with 750, we added 10 more hours, then we consume this, then we consume this, then we consume this, then we consume this, we consume this. In the last we left with 0 hours. This is how we are consuming all hours. Release, burn down chat. Will the release be done on the time? Release be done on the time. Release means product with all these different features added to the product would be released to the market. That is called release date. So SAP product adding these 5 new things being released to the market. Release date. This was a release burnout chat also. I will show you. Product burnout chat. This basically means big picture view of the project progress for all releases. So I have a different sprints, and for each sprint what we are doing. Scalability of the Scrum. So when you talk of the Scrum, normally we have a 6 to 10 people, right? Over 800 people if you do, that become a meta Scrum. That's a huge project. But normally Scrum is having less than 10 people or less than 15 people in most Scrum. You don't have 50 and 100. Some project in very peculiar cases you have a mega, or you call it mega Scrum, which is having a large number of people. Because having a large number of people and managing in a different project, then you lose that Scrum quality, which is agility you lose. So that is not we do in case of
So when they have large number of people, they do daily Scrum meetings and all that stuff. No.
they still do, but that's why it's not recommended, because if you have a 500 people and meeting, it become unmanageable. But I've seen that though, like even in SAP world they have a 250, 300 people sitting room and doing meeting with them. Now only the talkers and people who are speaking is only maybe 5 out of 250. Remaining 445 is listening. But you still have a 250 people. But it's not common. You will only do such meeting like maybe twice in a year. But a daily Scrum and others is not that much more common. Oops, what I did. Now I cannot see here. So this is an scalability of different Scrum. Scrum 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is another example of scalability where you can have a multitude of team working together. So if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, each team 1, 2, these are blocks, building block 1, 2, 3, 9 blocks. Pros and cons. I think most of them in Agile mobile there is the advantages. So because it's more mobile, is more agile, much more simple, less rules, less documentation, more agility, more self-governed, self-organized team. But there could be indiscipline though. There could be indiscipline though. Because if there is no self-responsibility, then managing overall tasks might become a problem. because documentation is less, and because the documentation is less, so that might add to the problem. Isolation of responsibility, so we are not sure that what we wanted to be responsible for that. So there is no clear rule because we are working together. So those are some of the disadvantages. Mostly it is advantageous methodologies. And thank you is very advantageous as well. You agree? Anything? Any questions, concerns?
So what is extreme programming?
Extreme programming is basically another methodology in Agile only. And we'll talk about that. We will separate topic. One of the methods we talk about is Scrum. Is called XP. Anybody? Any questions, concerns?
So, on a more practical perspective, like as a business analyst when we are working in an organization, how do we come into this Agile framework? I mean, what would be our role?
Your role is see, all these methodology and all these terms which I am explaining, first and foremost, all of them is for your knowledge. If you are a business analyst, if somebody throw you a term, software development life cycle and requirements and Scrum and all different terms which we use, what business workshop, right? All these terms, first and foremost, we must know that what does these terms mean. Secondly, on the project, whether you're going to use methodology A, methodology B, whether you're going to use this document, that document, and how of each document look like, you have a limited or no say on that. Even all these business requirement document, process flow diagrams and all that, you have no say on it. You are given. This is what we're going to do. This is our methodology. Like when business requirement talk about, we can do workshop, we can do questionnaires, we can do this and all that. You don't have a say. But you need to know when we say questionnaire means what. Workshop means what. So all these terms and understanding of that is very important. Some of these outputs which is being produced, how these output and documents look like, that is very important. And then rest you go with the flow. You are in bus. You are riding a train. You are not even conductor of the train. You are one of the passenger of the train. You are one of the passenger of the bus. But you need to understand what this bus is. What does this bus do? Where it is going? What does this seat mean? What does this mean? Understand my point? You are not driving the bus. You are not even driver and conductor. You are passenger of the bus. But when you are driving the bus, you need to know how to drive. You are not going to be a Scrum Master. You are not going to be a project manager. You are going to be a team member. But we need to understand these terms and terminologies, these deliverables. That is why I was telling her, like if somebody has SQL, nobody will ever ask you to do SQL. But we need to understand term. Like BRD document, the whole idea of the BRD, FRD and all these different templates which I will showing you in this week is to at least you have seen one example. If somebody asking you to do a business requirement, I think you know how it is look like. When you're doing process flow diagram, then you at least seen it once. And their process flow diagram may look entirely different than what we are doing. Their BRD document can look entirely different than what we are doing. Their FSD document may look entirely different what we are doing. But we have seen one example. At least we have some context to it. And then we flow with the bus. You got the point?
JD का documents, standard documents and videos you are about to show.
JD ka PDF we covered.
We have PDF for insects and real time.
Yes, that I've not shown any real time anyway. We're gonna show our.
We are going to do certain assignments for BA also.
I will be giving some assignments and interviews also. So you have a 2-3 mock interview from me, and couple of them from Gaurav in his group. He sent me FAQs. I want him to set up FAQs also, see, because how to face these vendors and all that is first challenge. Because these vendors are very chalu. They will completely figure it out, and then you have to be chalu plus multiply by 2, so you can handle them. Huh? Mahachalu. I like that. Sorry, Mahachalu.
So tomorrow, no FAQ from your side?
We'll do that. Okay, so thanks guys. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye guys.